How's it going, everybody? Crusty Old Crow back again doing another one of my tactical perspective toy reviews. The review I do for the G.I.Joe classified line pretty much exclusively. And today we are going to be covering number 132 of that line, the Iron Grenadier, part of Destro's private army. I've been waiting to get more of these before doing this review, but unfortunately it looks like I'm on the back order list for getting more of these. So I have been fortunate enough to get one, but only one. There you have on the back art. He was never meant to stand alone. And they want you to see that Iron Grenadier logo. You know, that's replaced the Cobra logo on this. And then, of course, they want you to see his fancy gold, what is that? Like a brassard, not a brassard, but ornament a sling for his holster there. So there's that beautiful box art. You can see the reflection of the camera in it. Pardon me for that. There's your QR code going to G.I.Joe Limbo. As far as I know, still have not found a way to maybe utilize this in a way to link file cards or anything of interest there. Just catalog ordering, right? But you can see this new carbon fiber-esque looking, fake carbon fiber-esque looking thing. It's got the title and everything like it's your standard box, and we're going to give that no more attention. It's just a box. We are going to give a lot of attention to what I think is one of the strongest figures I've seen this year at a Hasbro, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to do it in our tactical perspective way. We're going to look at a file card on this thing, if there is one out there, which there is. We're going to look at the head-to-toe inspection of this character, just like a sergeant used to do when he'd inspect a troop. Look him over, see if he's turned out properly for the job he says he's there to do. And after we're done doing all that, we'll give him that standard play grade. How fun is it to play with this guy? Did they do a good job with that? That tactical grade. Is this guy military looking realistically, or is this all fiction? How much of it? What's the balance there? And then, of course, we're going to give it that je ne sais quoi grade, which is French Canadian for I don't know what. Meaning, I don't know what it is about this has going for it. Maybe it's something I feel about it. Maybe it's some hassle we had ordering it. Maybe it's some nuances about this character that aren't covered by the other two grades. We'll hit that. All right. So there you go, guys. We're going to do the Iron Grenadier, number 132 in the line. And we're going to have some fun with that. And if you like these tactical perspective toy reviews, don't forget, hit that like, share, subscribe. It really does help us out. We're gonna shoot for 1,000 this year. That's my goal, and I really need some help getting there. But guys, don't forget, we also have some giveaways coming up that I'm gonna do probably around the Christmas time frame, Christmas to New Year's. I've been accumulating a few prizes of comics and figs that I want to give it to the guys because we passed my 500 mark, and I've been late celebrating that due to personal issues at home, but I do have a plan for it, okay? And I want to thank you subscribers for that. So guys, let's take this guy over to the display, have a look at him, and get on with this tactical perspective toy review. Thank you. As with every tactical perspective, I'm going to kick off number 132, the Iron Grenadier, with the file card review. So let's get that up there. Here we go. Codename Iron Grenadiers, Destro's elite troopers, specialties, terrorism, sales, marketing, development. The Iron Grenadiers are handpicked from Destro's personal bodyguards. They are the spearhead of Destro's incursions into new territory. The Iron Grenadiers, acting as agents, provocateurs, saboteurs, or outright terrorists, impel an unsuspecting country towards chaos and turmoil, thereby creating new markets for Destro's weapons where none existed before. Their pay is a percentage of gross sales. Imagine the slickest used car salesman you've ever met. Now imagine that he's also the trickiest accountant in the world. Got that? Try to picture what he would be like if that same guy was also a highly trained commando with expertise in explosives, small arms, and hand-to-hand combat. Top it off with the fact that no other mercenary group in the world wants them because of their history of turning on their superiors. That's what an Iron Grenadier is. And that's the file card, guys. And all images I usually tend to use on here, if it's not yojo.com, it's of course 3djoes.com. That gives me pretty much every file card I've ever asked for. And most of the images you see here that I don't shoot myself are from them. So I always like to thank them as often as I think of it. Okay, so that file card, guys, what do we see in there that reminds us of anything? Can anybody think of the top of the head what a sales and accountant, sales and marketing development would look like? An accountant with the hand-to-hand skills. Of course, they've also described that, right? And that's not a problem, guys, because that always has an explanation that you can get to in Destro, the comic series, right? So there's an explanation for why they're so similar, and what the differences between them really are. And there's not that many, except that we are talking about Destro's hand-selected Iron Grenadier, his personal bodyguard of mercenaries and marketing guys, right? And I really like the fact that they talk about how they destabilize governments to create markets where one never existed before, so Destro can capitalize on that. All right, so that's the file card out of the way. Let's look at some images. Okay, so here's what we got back in the day. We got the original. It came out around the time of Battle Force 2000. All right, so let's change the angle here and talk about some of this kit before we get into that head to toe. All right. I'm so eager to look at this figure and go over some of the things I've noticed on it right away, guys. But I've got to get this kit out of the way. So the first piece of kit I want to get on there is that German World War II, World War I era trench warfare looking helmet. You know, that gold painted. It almost looks like a blade, that raised ridge for the helmet. You could see him using this helmet in a couple of different ways in trench warfare if all of the other weapons have run out of ammo, you know, and he's in close quarters. You could see that even this helmet could be a weapon. Really cool. It fits over the head like that. Look at that. Okay, and now in order to show off the rest of the kit and weapons, I'm going to start with the over-the-shoulder slung holster that they wanted us to notice on the box that we talked about there, just off on the box, the second little image down there. So in order to do that, you know, I'll show you up close. Look at that. You got that nice skull, much as what they wanted you to see when they show it on the box. If I can get it into focus. Some good red overlaid fabrics over the metal, holding the metal into place. So it's like a ribbon holding the metal, but it's a little poorly painted. So it's a ribbon of red paint. I thought it was an intentional weave, but it's not. It's just poorly painted red. So that's a spot there where I would say the paint app didn't work out, but that's one of the only ones I can find. But as we turn it over, it's for this holster, which we'll put them back up there now. And you can see that holster is set for the weapon that he gets from Destro's original print right there. This blaster with the no paint on it for the sight or anything like that. They've done nothing to really beautify this thing. It's just one of many weapons he's coming with today anyways. So in it goes into that holster. While we've got his back turned, we should probably draw attention to the second holster there, which almost looks like a knife holster, but is not. It's for his sci-fi Cobra kind of revolver there. There you go. And no blast effects ports for these. I was like, because they've come so early in the line, no blast effects ports for either of them. They're just from early reuse. So we'll just get those in there. That one's upside down. Get those in there, and there you go. That's how two of the weapons seat, and I love it because we have kit storage going on here for 3 items already. That extra head feature, the weapon, and the secondary weapon, that's all taken care of. Now we'll move on to probably the more identifiable piece of kit that everybody relates to it, and that's the saber, the cavalry sword there, the officer's blade. We've got this is where I kind of go, okay, but, right, it's a Cobra hilt, but these are not Cobra soldiers. These are Iron Grenadiers. They just happen to be working for Destro at a time where he's aligned with Cobra. So to have a Cobra snakehead hilt, we felt like, we'll just let it go, because they're not going to make new swords for these. But I wanted to point that out. You can't really see it, but it's a combination of steel or hard plastic there, and leather, patent leather there, and then more steel there. I wish they had remembered to put some gold on this part of it as well. They did remember it there, but just having it on this part would have been nice. So we're gonna put that where it belongs on this one. It slings on the, let's see, pardon me, it slings over here on the the belt loop that's on his right side, and we're just going to pull out the Crimson Guard again and show you the difference. There is, for the Crimson Guard, his feature was that his belt loop was on his, pardon me, I'll put it in front of you, on his left side, right? And then you could put it on his backpack, but there's the hole on the Crimson Guard for the left side mount there. So we've got some difference in how the sword is being treated, at least between the characters, right? You know, for the cross draw, perhaps, I don't know. We've got that there, and again, we'll pull this out now. Gold blade, black hilt. Okay, nothing different really, that aside from the coloring, right? The coloring is it. You can see those little rivets of gold along the black of this belt there. And that's, like I said, that's a feature, but it comes attached to your character, and it is already pinned inset into his back, but you can remove it just like a backpack, right? Like a poppity pop. There you go. So we'll put him back. We'll get rid of the Crimson Guard here, and we'll go have a look at the next two pieces of kit, the last two pieces of kit. So he's got 1, 2, 3 weapons already. He's going to get a third of. Now we're going to dip into the pool of Big Ben, and we're going to give him this double-barreled Hokey gun that, you know, the younger kids seem to like enough, but us other older gen guys kind of think it's kind of ridiculous. It's got the red handle on there. That's a nice little feature. Yeah, the forward grip handle that you can mount on a rail. You know, it's got the retracting stock and removable mag. It's exactly as you've had it in a couple of different figures at this point. So no big news there. And then we'll put in his saw, right? Semi-automatic weapon, or section assault weapon, as we sometimes called it in the assault troop, because it was, you know, this was a nice ad for the figure, because what this accomplishes is more of that troop build vibe, with better consideration now than previous troop builds like the Crimson Guard, or perhaps the Cobra Trooper. Oh dear, now everything falls. We'll just get all that set back up. I'm not too concerned about this. I say that because what they've provided you here now is section building and squad building. So a squad would be your 5-man group of these guys. If you are troop building in any form, say you have 5, it would be one of these saws for every group of 5, right? So 4 guys get this little guy, and then 1 guy's carrying around this big fella right here, right? That would be a squad formation. That would be, you know, tactically sound. And then in a section of 10 to 12 guys, you would have 2 of these guys sporting these on either flank, right? 1 on either flank, and maybe a guy carrying around extra ammo behind him, right? In section-based attacks, and then everybody else getting those, right? And then the commanders, of course, getting the fancy pistols and, you know, sabers drawn and all that. So I liked that ad. I like the way this thing's broken up with the red on it. And the ammo belt, really, you know, some extra gold. It was already going to be gold or brass anyways, right, guys? But, you know, I like the bipods. I've always been a fan of how they do their bipod individual posts, as opposed to floppy down like what we see with Dusty's bipod. Not a big fan of his bipod at all. All right, now we got to get into the fun part, and that's the head to toe. Here he is, our Iron Grenadier. Kylo Ren joke went too far. Okay, hang on, I got to fix this. No, this isn't it either, but it looks damn cool, man. I can't wait till Destro's Iron Grenadier uniform comes out, man. All right, let's try one more, and then we'll get to the kit. Okay. You know what? I don't care how you feel about Profiteer Destro, whether you liked it, his pimp daddy look or not. There is no denying that until we get an Iron Grenadier Destro, that's pretty sick looking. And that head fits beautifully. Holy crap. Okay, but this isn't a review about Destro. I got to get this guy back to Iron Grenadier status so we can talk about that kit. But man, as soon as I'm done this review, that's how I'm doing this single figure until I get more of these. Wow, does that ever work? Head to toe time, gentlemen and ladies. All right, so what we've got here is, I mean, we've made the cracks before. Everybody's made some sort of crack about it, but the Kylo Ren looking face mask. And if you compare that to how he used to look back in the day, it's not that far off, but it's just much more detailed now. We'll get rid of his secondary helmet. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's very much a Darth Vader-esque kind of assembly here, but what you're getting, if we can get it into focus there, you've got his breathing apparatus there up and in the mouth. That's colored in silver. You've got silver highlights across that red, and it's all very technical sectional armored skull cap, right? That tinted visor. You know, this thing is clamped onto his head, probably 1, 2, 3 maybe pieces, and a detachable breather mask. That's awesome. If you want to look at the head articulation, we could tilt it only so far up, but it gives you a good look at that neck. And I've made this reference before with Alpine's shoulders. It's very Darth Vader-y kind of padding there, that black rubber leather looking padding. We've got that in the neck there. And there's enough Darth Vader references or Darth Maul references here, Kylo Ren, or not Darth Maul, but Kylo Ren references. I'm just going to drop it at this point. We got our photos. That's all we were looking for. We've got that business collar, that general looking, like the general's looking pips on the collar of his shirt with the black tie, and a red, a little red jewel there, which is just this perfect little nod to Destro's necklace, right? Like just that little red icon on the tie clip, as it were, just really kind of reflects the fact that they are Destro's personal guard. I like that that look on it. This is a new torso as far as I can tell. You know, where it'll be repeated, I expect if we ever see Cobra do the Headhunters, this is where I expect to see this kind of formal petticoat look, or at least the upper portion of it. But who knows? That's too far down the line to worry about. We've got some beautiful reds and golds at play, and I'm not finding a whole lot of problems with the paint app so far at all. I don't think I have too much dirty paint, maybe a little slippage under the nose of the visor there, but that's about it for that silver. And I don't even know if that's slippage or if that was intentional. It looks like it possibly would be intentional. This is the sling for the holster that they wanted to draw your attention to. I'll show you that now. There you go. And there's the shoulders. We've got the Iron Grenadier logo there. And it looks like these are stalker arm reuse with some shoulder padding. Maybe not stalker, but there's that shoulder padding there. Who else has that? I would check maybe, I don't know, Beachhead or somebody, the new Beachhead maybe. So overall, no problems with the joints whatsoever. You can hear that rubber bending, right? I'm really loving this buck so far. Before we go too far, we'll get that second helmet on there. And there you go. And there, we've got that Iron Grenadier helmet. A little bit of hair on there. Let's get that off of there. Fits for beautifully. Looks like with the glaive at there, you know, he could use this to bludgeon people in trench warfare. You know, can we get that in the hand without doing any damage to it? Wow. Let's see. Could he use this as a handle to smash people over the head with his helmet? Oh yeah, you can. Or maybe hammer down as he crouches down on top of them, puts that across their neck to finish them. Ooh, that's grim. Crow, stop it. Anyways, you got your Darth Vader skull cap assembly there, all right, for the head. So moving on down that line, like I said, we've got some differences here. So yeah, you get the Iron Grenadier logo on the arm there. You'll notice there is no Cobra logo because, like I said, they're Deathstroke Squad, not Cobra Commanders. Some nice buttons down there. 2 belts. One, the petticoat belt for, you know, this nicely painted tails end of the petticoat or whatever you want to call it. And then the tactical saber belt with the gold Destro skull kind of thing going on, and a little pouch there, you know. What you'll notice is the black ribbing there, the padding on the buck. It's very much what was kind of hinted at on the original figure, but updated. We've got some good range of motion with this guy. You can get some great posing, and with that, the ab crunch is not obstructed at all by anything, which is one of the things that makes this figure so great as a troop builder. You know, it's really just a great solid buck, no problem with the twist. Good reuse of the pants, good reuse of the arms, new torso. I got no complaints about that. Should they have painted those knee pads? Perhaps you could say, yeah, they could have painted those knee pads a bit. But overall, I think this, with the, again, we've got the Cavalier boots that is the same as the Crimson Guard, right? The same Cav boots. We'll put them back up there so you can see. Same ones, just painted in a higher gloss. So these are very, you know, these guys spit shine their boots, and the Crimson Guard brush shine them. There you go. That's the difference, right? I'll put them beside each other and show you again. Because it is an inspection. It's a head-to-toe inspection. Brush shining, taking a bunch of polish and just applying it over there and back and forth with the brush until it's on and your boots are black. Spit shining, doing that plus using a bit of heat friction and water to get a high gloss out of that polish and bring it to its optimal shine, all right? The two differences. There you learn something on the tactical perspective today. We'll turn it around so you can get a better look at that petticoat now that I've brought it up and didn't give you that much of a view of it. You can see it's got that black back slit. And now I do see some heavy paint mess up there. A little bit on that little region there, this lip. We'll get a close-up on that for you. Let me know in the comments if you guys had anything worse than that, but I don't think... now that I've seen it, I'll never unsee it. But it doesn't ruin the figure at all. Like, most of these figures will have one or two sloppy paints somewhere along the line. You'll be lucky if you never have one. But this figure makes up for it in so many different ways. Such a great figure. I'm so impressed by this, actually. But I should stop ranting about it and just get to doing a review, shouldn't I? You know, with figs this good, the grading gets easier, guys. This one, for attack grade, I believe wholeheartedly that this is one guy's own personal servant army, his retinue, his entourage of mercs. It's a glorious uniform that just shows wealth and tech and weaponry, which is exactly what Destro's Mars Industries was always about, wasn't it? I love the little collar nod with the red jewel on tie clip that throws back to Destro, showing those allegiances. I love the gas mask kind of feel of his helmet there. You know, he could walk into a smoky room. He could get out of tear gas unfazed. You know, you have to believe the survivability of these guys in a heavy, burning, smoke-filled environment of a battlefield. These guys would dominate, right? So tactically, I think it's just a really great figure. They've given you enough to make out your squad builds. No problems at all with the weapons loadout. Am I disappointed with some Destro reuse where they don't have the blast effects and, you know, for the tips of the weapons? Not really. You know, that's an officer's gun, and as I see it, one of your guys will have it. And if it really disappoints, you know, I guess that's the collateral damage on everything else that they put their focus into on this one. So, I'm going to give this guy a tactical sense of 5, or a tactical grade of 5, right? I think they nailed it with this one for their troop build of the Iron Grenadiers. Pardon the shaky camera there. And for a play grade, I am going to give this another 5. The reason being is, as I showed you, they're starting to get more universal with that head ball joint there. And we're starting to see that there was some cross compatibility with things we've seen in the line before. There's a lot of different ways to play with this cat and what kind of infantry soldier to make him. You know, just there's so much storytelling with this kind of a figure that comes with all of this as a regular retail priced figure. You know, oh, pardon me for getting that out of focus there, guys. Overall, the play grade on this is also going to be a 5 from me. the je ne sais quoi factor as I compare this to its previous iterations, which was a time where I wasn't collecting Joe. Battle Force 2000 was when I was well out of the line and well into some women. This is a really kind of a cool surprise. I didn't expect to actually like the Iron Grenadiers as much as I do. And you know, I've got to say it right now. Skybound Entertainment Group has also been a big part of making me understand a little bit more about them. So, well, I'm having problems with that ankle rocker, but it's my problem, not the figure's problem. Overall, I would highly recommend this character for anyone new into the line, wanting to know who they want to put their focus on as a troop builder for their Cobra side or enemy side. This is it. And what I saw with the head exchanges and the different ways to play with this figure and pose this figure, yeah, that je ne sais quoi factor, I'm going to say, is just a solid appreciation. I'll go 4.5. I think there's some other things I could have, you know, lent to more universality for this. And you know, it's just one of these things where I don't want to say this was the perfect figure. It's not perfect with paint apps and some of the weapon reuse, like paint app slippage and weapon reuse. But my God, this is the best effort I've seen them to try and make a perfect troop builder in quite some time. And I think Hasbro should be commended for the Iron Grenadier. All right, guys, if you agree, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, let me know in the comments, and let me know why. You're always respectful, and I'll be respectful back. I appreciate you guys participating and keeping the subject going. You know, it's a big thing for my channel to interact with you guys, right? And thanks again for watching. If you've liked this video, shared this video, if you are thinking about subscribing and you're on the fence, I'll just remind you, it's all free. And we'll be back at this again because, guys, like I alluded before, I've passed my 500 mark. I'm going to be giving some giveaways just around the holiday season. But my next few videos are going to be some interest videos rather than reviews. And, of course, I've got a good, the bad, the ugly review coming out. And those are always about a line. I grab a couple other figures and then I get an opinion on that line. Well, guys, it's time I do Hasbro itself for the classified line. So I'm going to do a good, the bad, the ugly classified line review. And I hope you guys stick around to watch that. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.